Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. It's Glenn and Angel, and joining us every Tuesday is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, and I'm back in my office.
Yes, you are, and Happy New Year. We haven't seen her in 2025, have you?
No, Happy New Year.
How come you look extra pretty today, eh?
No extra rounder today. I just got back from Shanghai last night.
Wait,
Nice, okay.
you went to Shanghai? I thought
I
after
went to-
Turkey, you came back to Singapore.
I came back, went to the studio, and that night I flew off to Shanghai again.
So you've been in
For-
Shanghai
Yes.
for a week? Almost
For a week.
Wow.
And that's why I have this topic today, back to school, because 9 little girls, well, teen girls and little girls, went to Shanghai for a ballet competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Including your daughter, assuming.
Yes, including
Okay.
my daughter. And then today is the first day back in school for the new year. So that's why the topic, back to school.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
Let's continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Dua Lipa with Training Season on Kiss 92. Okay.
Okay, so what about back to school are we talking about?
Back to school. So, the girls, teen girls, were
Why is your
complaining.
mic a little soft?
Yeah, it
today?
is. I'm getting
Is
the
my
soft as
yeah.
well.
mic? Is my mic a little soft?
It's louder on stream.
Oh,
checking it. Okay.
All right. Apparently,
Okay.
our viewers will have no issue with your levels.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I will try and speak louder.
That's okay.
Yeah, no. Well, I was thinking because the teen girls were complaining about, I don't want to go back to school. And as with many of our students, right, they will complain. But when they complain, we know what their challenges are. But we are talking about the different types of challenges going to school when they enter school. So it could be transition. It could be they have already been in the school and they're going back for a new school year. It could be during the school, so going back to school. So we look at the 5 different areas that I often talk about: cognitive, emotional, social, physical, and spiritual. So if we look at the cognitive challenge, I would say that some of the students find that there is, I'll quote them, information overload. There's too much information. So when they go back on the first day, they have the timetables that they're given. They have all the school rules that they're given, the policies, the do's and don'ts, and all the spoken and unspoken rules also. So there's a information overload, especially for our little ones.
But what's it like now in school? I mean, it's been a while since we've been in school, but for the first few days, aren't they sort of like initiated slowly and gently into a system? Or is it just all thrown at them and then day 2 they're expected to know everything there is
Well,
to know?
The schools try to feed the information slowly. Yeah, but we are talking about different levels of abilities, different abilities. Yeah, and no matter what, I think the children, the teens, even the older ones. So sometimes I have those with needs, and they go from maybe JC into university, and they find it very difficult to adapt to the whole environment because there are so many moving parts or so many variables that they have to deal with.
And
Sounds very stressful.
It does, but
It
and
is.
also because
It
each
is.
person sort of adapts at their own pace, right? And it's not
Correct.
all the
Correct.
same.
Correct. And for the mothers or parents who are listening in who have younger children, sometimes separation anxiety seems to be very, very common. And, they feel really upset when they see their children crying and asking for them, and they feel very helpless at the gate.
And sometimes the parents are more upset than the kids.
I think so.
That is true.
It's true.
think
Yeah,
so.
it's true.
So you should be talking to the parents as well. Because look, if I were a parent and I'm leaving my kid behind, I mean the first week or whatever, I would feel a bit sad. But of course I will control my emotions. You don't want to show the kid that, I don't want to be away from you as well.
Yeah.
But I think there are parents who feel like they want to stick around during this entire period.
Of course, because it's hard for a parent. I mean, the kids go to school at what? Sometimes 4, sometimes 5, sometimes some of them wait till they're 6 or 7, right? And to look after them all those years, and all of a sudden this child is going off and being looked after by somebody else in somebody else's care. The parents it can be quite difficult for parents.
I think I would homeschool my cute child.
There are lots of people that homeschool these
Yeah,
days.
yeah. Yeah, but they pick up different skills, I suppose. Yeah. But you're talking about that emotional challenge now, right? Of the first day, first week, first child,
Separation
even
anxiety.
the first semester. So you're looking at new environment, new classroom, new friends, new roles and responsibilities. An interesting thing that I actually kind of thought about was the toilets. I'm not sure if you've been to the toilets in the primary school and the secondary school,
They're
but it's
really
actually
small.
it can have many cubicles, but they're not very similar to the public toilets or the toilets at home. So, even the toilets you do need to get acquainted with, or you get used to.
That's a
Yeah.
surprise.
What?
That's a surprise. Why is the D coming up there? That's a surprise because I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it seems like such a simple idea, right? Yeah.
Kids need to get used to the toilet.
Yeah. No, when I said small, I meant like the kindergarten and primary school ones are very
Oh, yes,
small.
yes, yes,
Yeah, they're
yes.
so cute though.
Yes.
They're tiny. Like
Yeah.
small bowls.
But why do kids need to get used to the toilet?
Because the toilets are so different from your home toilets. You think
Yeah.
about it, like your home toilet is like one bathroom. That's where you shower. You've got all your soaps, your shampoos, your toilet paper. But you go to a public-ish
Right.
toilet for the first time, it can be very daunting for a child.
Really?
Yeah.
Daunting for a child?
Yeah.
It is because and it's not it doesn't look like a public toilet either. So the structure of it is slightly different if you have ever been to one, and it's not the most pleasant place to be in also. So some of the children actually hold their pee in or hold their poo in, so they don't go until they reach home, and they let it all out at home.
But that's also because some of them are too scared to say as well that they want to go to the loo, right? Like put a hand up, I need to go to the toilet, because some can be very shy or introverted.
Perhaps, but that can be easily resolved, if the parent primes the teacher or lets the teacher know.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So then it's a
Poor thing, right?
collaborative.
It's I think parents have been pampering their kids too much already. Seriously.
That's what you got out of all that.
Yes. Okay, anyway, let's go for a traffic update. Stand by.
Kiss 92 traffic.
If you're on the KPE heading towards the ECP right after the Buangkok Drive exit, look out for a broken down vehicle. Same situation on the SLE towards the BKE after the TPE entrance. Another vehicle's broken down. Wherever you are, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show, and The Big Show TV is Dr. Geraldine Tan, award-winning therapist, psychologist from the therapy room. Thank you very much for joining us, Jerry, on the new Big Show. And
Yes.
just now off the air on The Big Show TV, we're talking about, kids, going to school for the first time and not being able to adapt to the school toilet.
Yeah.
And I was just completely mind blown when you said that, because how weak are kids these days that they can't get used to a public toilet, even for the, for the first time at the age of 7, at the age of 8, you were talking about students holding it in and eventually peeing in their pants.
I don't think it's got anything to do with weakness, though. I mean, if you think about it,
Did you pee in your pants when you were in?
I don't know. Maybe I
primary
did.
school?
I
Of course
don't
not.
remember.
I'm
I don't
sure you
remember.
didn't.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think there's anything to do with weakness because there is no practice session. There is no, okay, you guys go and practice in the school toilet for a week, and then now we're
But
going to go to
obviously,
school.
the parents have been perhaps maybe pampering these kids.
I don't think that's
you know,
got anything to do
don't
with it.
use public toilets. Like, you know, you bring them out as like 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. You go out there to a public toilet and no, this toilet is dirty. Or, I don't know.
Do you remember what you were like at maybe 5 or 6?
Oh, my
Maybe you
goodness.
had fear as well.
Look, my father was from Malaysia, so we used to go to a place called Pontian.
Yes, I know where that
They
is.
had
yeah.
the filthiest toilets, let me just tell
And
you.
you
At
had to
the
use them.
age of like 4, 5, you know, they would bring me to these toilets and it would really be stinky
Like a
and
hole in
stuff
the
like that.
ground
So
kind
by
of
the
thing.
time I went to primary school, I'm sure I found the toilet
It was like
to
the
be
Shangri-La.
amazing. And that's the thing, you see. Kids are not exposed to anything other than maybe their home, their beautiful home toilet or the beautiful toilets that we have in shopping centers these days.
Do you think that's what
Take
it is?
them to the
Dr.
coffee shop
Jerry?
toilets more often and they will be used to everything else.
I
you
don't
think
think
that's
it's
a
a matter of weakness, you know. It's like us when we go overseas, and even if you're in a hotel with the most beautiful bed, because it's not your bed, you might not be comfortable to sleep in it. So it's also about, you know, getting used to it, about safety, about familiarity. So what we're saying is really that the children going into a new environment may feel unsafe, uncomfortable, unfamiliar. So therefore it becomes a challenge. But we're not saying that they cannot adapt.
But
So we're
you
not
have to-
saying that they
But you have to agree with me when I say that kids, you know, these days, you know, they are spoiled. They are not exposed to.
I think weakness is the wrong word. It's the lack of exposure. So it's
Yeah.
the parents that need
Right.
to expose them.
Yes.
Because the kids don't know anything different. The kids are like, I'm told not to go there, so I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
Right? So it's
Because I
more
was
on
brought
the
up in a
parents.
generation where Singapore in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Where Singapore is just coming up. And you get a lot of dirty places.
Oh, absolutely. Even now. Yeah. You still get them. Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, they definitely can adapt, but we're looking at some of the challenges that they have. Waking up early is another huge challenge for many students. And I'm not sure why our schools have to start so early.
Neither
In
do I.
Portugal, you know, we were chatting with the guide, schools start at 9 a.m.
See what I mean, Jerry? We are spoiling our kids here in Singapore. I say we should kick their asses and toughen them up a little
Start
bit.
at 5, is it?
Let's talk a little bit more on the Big Show TV. It's 8:19.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by
I like the idea of starting at 9 because that's when parents start work. So the timing, I mean, if you think about it, if your little kiddies were closer to your timing of work, you send them to school
Yep.
and then you're off to work. It works perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't
right?
mean to be sexist when I say this, but you see, this is women talking.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm serious. If you're talking about a guy, you spoil a guy like this, okay? When he eventually has to go to the army, what's going to happen then?
Then he learns, he adapts. Humans adapt. Oh no, you don't have to. But you don't have to train a boy from the time he's 5 years old all the way to army so that he's prepared for it. Because you train a girl for real world as well. This is just.
I say girls should go to the army as well.
And some girls do.
Yeah, but you can say that now,
But I'm saying some girls do.
right? Will you be for it?
What if it's mandatory?
Yeah.
I think people should be given a choice. That's me. I'm
How
all
come
about
us
choices.
guys, we don't have
That's
a choice?
I am not part of
We are
the
here to
government,
go in
so
there and
I
be tough
cannot.
and protect you women.
You have to. So
Huh?
it's been written in the rules.
Right.
We don't have to.
We
can-
come out
See,
and
women
become
have the
girlfriend, boyfriend,
choice.
husband, and wife. All of a sudden, the wife is still stronger than the husband
That's because she lived in the real
without
world. yes.
going to the army.
And a very nice play of the social aspect that the children need to deal with, because when they're at home or when they are at the playground, they are very protected by the parents. But when they're in school, they have to deal with different personalities, navigating different people. So just like the little banter that you had earlier, they may not be used to the kind of banter because they are not exposed, just like Glenn said, right? They're not exposed to different sort of banter. So they may perceive something as bullying, but actually it's just teasing or just very neutral sort of discussion. But if they don't know how to manage it, then it becomes a difficult situation. So yes, there's another social part. And then there is cliques that they get into, the in crowd and the out group. And they start to learn, oh, do I need to be in the in group? What does it mean to be in the out group? So all these are social skills or social situations that they need to deal with.
Is
and
there a right
develop.
time to actually tell the kid, like, look, suck it up? Just suck it up. Once again, I go back to our time, right? Where my was it my dad or my mom? I can't remember. But it's like if you behave a certain way, it's like don't be a sissy.
Yeah, but you can't compare.
Of course, you can't
those
do it
days.
now.
Those days
Obviously,
you can't compare to now.
Yeah.
Things change.
Actually, you can.
No, you cannot. Life change, like life and the world moves on. You know what I mean? The parenting styles evolve, children evolve, humans evolve. So that.
But see, the thing is, I think maybe society, when it comes to me right now, friends, family, and all the downside to me, because of the way I was brought up, is that I am not vulnerable. Right? So I was brought up like that. I know some people like vulnerable people. But I'm not one of those people. I have my good points. I have my bad points. But one thing is for sure, I'm really good at sucking things up. And to a certain point, it is good for me because I protect myself.
And kudos to your parents for teaching you that.
Yeah, and I don't pee in my pants. Like you were mentioning, like
Oh my gosh,
No.
that's not a sign of vulnerability.
No, I think
No.
if you go to a toilet and you're not comfortable and you hold it in and you eventually pee in your pants in front of everybody, I think that's a problem, isn't it?
It happens. I mean, imagine a small child. I mean, the child is no higher than this console. 5, 6 years old, going into a classroom or a world that's so brand new, where where the teacher is like supersized, everybody else is your same size. You've never been in a classroom with like 30 other kids at the same time, and then all of a sudden you need to pee, and the whole time that you've lived on this earth, you've entrusted your parents to look after you. The whole responsibility has been with your parents or your carer, your helper, whatever it may be. And all of a sudden, you're thrown into this foreign world. And then you need to go pee. And sure, the teacher will say, if anybody needs to go to the toilet, put your hand up. But you're this shy little kid that doesn't speak much, doesn't know anyone. It's very scary for kids.
I think I know the problem. Like when I was growing up, I remember my parents, anytime I wanted to pee, they would let me pee anywhere. It's like, oh, there's a drain there. Okay,
Yeah,
go,
that's
go
the
and pee.
problem, yeah.
There's a bush there. Go and pee in the bush. I think there was one time I was in the car or something. It was a trip
By
to
the road.
Pontian by the road. I think I peed in a bottle or something
Okay.
like that. So once you get used to like
we need to send you
peeing
off
everywhere.
a hiking trip as well with a bottle.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in the army, no problem. We were peeing everywhere, and
Yeah, boys have
even
that.
now, when I play golf, for example, if there are no ladies around, I'll pee in the bush.
Boys have the advantage of standing and peeing. Women just don't have that choice.
But were we talking about guys or girls just now?
We were
Peeing in
talking
their
about
pants.
children.
Yeah, so-
Children.
Children.
Includes girls as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But still,
Yeah.
weak.
No, it is good. God, Glenn,
Okay,
stop it.
I think we're talking
We're
about
regressing.
also
I
young
didn't finish. Weak
young
bladder.
children.
Weak bladder.
No, we're talking about young children or younger children, as well as those with issues, those with needs, and we are looking at an inclusive learning environment. So that's why we're talking about it also, because MOE is looking at an inclusive learning environment, which means that more children on the spectrum with learning issues and definitely all the other issues like cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, visually and hearing impaired children are in the same school with all the other mainstream students.
Okay, I just want to
Or
say I
neurotypical
wasn't referring
students.
to all of the other types of children.
The ones with special needs, you're
Correct.
saying, right?
Yeah.
So if we look at all these different children, they all have different needs, including our neurotypical children who can have anxiety, introversion, so they can be introverted, they can have issues.
Okay. I mean, kids with issues are kids with issues. I was talking about like
Kids with
I
no
thought we were
issues.
talking- yeah, not so-called normal kids. Who basically
Neurotypical. Yeah, so we call them
Neurotypical. I think normal is no longer a word that is used.
Oh my god!
Glenn can't keep up with the terms.
Normal, abnormal.
Yeah, exactly. Because what is the opposite of abnormal, right? What is the opposite of
So
normal?
now
It's
it's what?
abnormal. So
Normal is neurotypical.
and then the
Yes.
opposite of that is
Neuro-untypical.
no neurodiverse.
Cheyenne is-
neurodiverse.
Okay,
Neurodiverse, yes,
Okay.
neurodiverse.
Neurodiverse.
Yeah, there are new terms
Yeah.
for everything. And you never call a person abnormal, by the way. No matter what. Even if you grew up in the 70s.
Maybe in a private conversation.
Maybe it's time to have a coffee
Maybe
now.
just not on the radio.
Yeah, maybe that might be a good idea.
Okay, well that's why we have Jerry here, right, to teach us all
So,
these.
so we should
terms.
have a session with all the different terminologies, and we all
I think
you know,
so.
we learn that terminology.
Yes, please. Let's do that.
Okay, we're going back on air. Stand by. Luckily, we spoke about all those things off the air.
But on Facebook, YouTube, and everywhere else.
Kiss 92 traffic.
There are the usual traffic delays on all the usual highways, but specifically on Clementi Avenue 6 towards Jalan Lempeng after Clementi Loop. Look out for an accident that's causing quite a bit of a backup. On the ECP, heading into the city after the Still Road South exit, avoid lane 4. A vehicle's broken down there. As you start your Tuesday, if you spot anything, our number is 8855509020.
Jalan limping. All of a sudden, I'm thinking of all the people who are limping this morning. Take care of your injury and get well soon. Okay, it's Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. Thank you very much, Jerry, for joining us on this Tuesday morning. Everyone loves you. Everyone is watching right now, and we're talking about going back to school and
Yes.
some kids who, just not cut out to go to school and should be homeschooled.
No, that's not what that's completely off the point.
You see, all those kids we're talking about just now who have problems in school and all that, if they were homeschooled, there'll be no problems.
And then then it will not solve the problem of being able to go out into society.
So
like
how
you
about
say.
this? This is the qualification process. If you go to a public school as a kid, for the first time, you go to the toilet, you don't want to use the toilet, so you have to hold everything in to the point you're in class, and then you kind of like pee in your pants and all that, then you should be at home instead.
Dr. Jerry?
You just brought me to the last type of challenge, which is the spiritual challenge, which is when children go into the school, they have to deal with people with different morals, different values from themselves. So we all need to deal with Glenn, who has different values from us.
And morals.
I tell you when I'll pray.
Morals, ethics, everything.
When I was a kid, every time I was constipated, I prayed, I'll be able to go.
Okay, too much information, Glenn.
But that's what the children have to deal with, right? Because they come from different families, all walks of life, and they are told different things. So the parents tell them something, the friends tell them something, and then they have to try and discern for themselves. So they learn a lot of skills in school, but it may be challenging. So I'm not saying the challenges are bad. I'm just saying that it is a challenge for some of them, more a challenge than others, but they need to deal with that.
So how do we help children? I mean, I know school has started, but it's always a work in progress. How do we help kids assimilate to a public world like that?
So we have the school environment that is really doing a lot to help, So we're talking about an inclusive learning environment. So in schools now, they have quiet spaces. So if your classroom does not have a quiet space, you can always try and request for it just at the back of the classroom, a little corner for yourself to decompress, because sometimes the environment can be very overwhelming. Or Glenn is shaking his head. Why?
He's like they've got the yoga shala in the corner of the
Can
class.
you imagine these kids, like the guys and all that, right? They'll grow up one day and they'll go like, okay, there's too much noise. Okay, there's too much noise
I'm
right
going
now.
to my quiet corner.
Yeah. What's going on?
It's like people growing
This
up,
can't be.
growing up and going, "Where's the quiet corner?" I totally agree with you. On this.
Inclusive environment where some of the children are really having a sensory overload on the system.
This is-
Okay, and some of them can have heightened sensitivity to noise, light, smells, touch.
But Dr. Jerry, okay, I have a question. Has it always been like this and not identified? You know what I mean? Like as we were growing up in school, like I don't want to throw back to the 70s and 80s, but I have to.
Yep.
Were we mixing around with children that may have been neurodiverse and not known it? You know what I mean?
Yes. So they are labeled as naughty, as stupid, as lazy. They are heavily
Troublemakers.
penalized.
Oh my God, I was called all that, I swear.
Troublemakers.
This is neurodiverse. That's Glenn.
By my mom.
Okay, but in the school environment, they are suffering because they cannot catch up due to certain reasons. So now we understand, we're more embracing, and we create a more conducive environment for learning. I mean, we keep talking about conducive learning environment. So what is that, right? If we don't identify the difficulties that they have.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's something new.
This is brand new. Here's
Dr. Jerry, are there more people living with neurodiversity, or is it a case of more labels?
Wow, that's so if you're talking about a clinical disorder, you do need a professional to diagnose you, right? But many people just go around saying that I think I have this, I think I have that. So the labels that they put on themselves may have exploded. You're right.
Because
But
it's an easy out, right? It's like, oh, I have OCD, I have ADHD, I think I'm excused from doing this, I can't concentrate. I'm sure a lot of people are doing that, right?
So they may excuse themselves, but if it's a self-imposed label, so they put it on themselves, I don't think they will have concession
Okay.
or the access that they require. But these people who have access to like the quiet corners or the sensory tools, perhaps they do have perhaps a diagnosis
Right.
given to them and given to the school. That means
Funny-
it is made known to the school.
This quiet corner that we're talking about, I mean, when we were growing
We
up...
had a
once
naughty
you-
corner.
Yeah, the quiet corner was actually, where I was sent to be punished, right?
Like
it's
the
like you
naughty
just
corner.
go to that corner and just be quiet.
Yeah.
And that would
Stand
that
in
would
the
kill
corner.
us, right? Because I mean, we were just like wanting
Raring to go.
to go and
Yeah.
do stuff and all that.
Yeah.
So if you were to go to the corner and what do you call have to just shut up,
Yeah, it was
That-
associated with being naughty.
yeah.
Does it work for the kids? Is there anyone that supervises them in these quiet corners with the sensory? Because I get what
It's-
Glenn is saying.
Yeah, but it's not literally a corner. You're talking about like a Like a space.
in the
A
corner.
calming space.
How is it
Yeah.
Like in
calming
the
when...
chapel,
No,
for
no,
example.
but it's in the classroom, she said. How is it calming when the rest of the kids are still there?
So it could be that they have a little, just a not cordon off, a section of space where they can sit on maybe a bean bag or something, or a little tent that
Oh,
A
right.
they,
tent?
yeah.
As in a
I see what,
tippy?
like a divider where they can't be seen as well, right? Where it's
teepee.
kind of a teepee.
A little teepee.
You can get it from IKEA.
Yeah.
Yes, you get it from IKEA, or
They're
so
cute.
they just sit in there and they just decompress for a little bit, just calm the senses down a little bit, and then they rejoin the classroom again.
I hope you're just talking about primary school, not secondary school here, right?
So secondary school, they have they are, some of them are permitted to stand up behind the classroom if they need to move a little bit, those with ADHD, or they have sensory tools. We are familiar with the fidget
Fidget
toys.
toys, yeah.
Yeah, some of them use blue tack to help them. Some of them, have little things that they can just touch and they feel, so they're very tactile.
But
Yeah,
I like
or
I like the fidget toy as well, but I'm not diagnosed with anything. I've seen a lot of people play with stuff, you know.
yeah, yep. So many of us play, with things. In the past, many of us would play
Yeah.
with our pens,
Yeah,
I
right? So we
remember
just
that.
keep
Yeah.
clicking, yeah, or spinning the pen,
Yes.
and then it became a game with all
Yeah.
of us who can spin, who can keep it up the longest. Yes, we do that, but some of them actually do need those sensory tools to help them. We also have buddies, or little mentors who buddy up those with needs, just to help them to ensure that they are on track with the classroom, or to navigate the space in school. So these are the group that I'm talking about, the neurodiverse, not the neurotypical.
God. Rachel has come on our Facebook and says, from what I know, children are only allowed to sit with their classmates who are not healthy for the child. Okay,
What does that mean?
I don't know what that
Like
means.
a strong kid and a weak kid.
During my time, we were free to mix around. This seems to have only been implemented after COVID, which is sad for the kids as they need to learn how to socialize. Do you know what she means?
Not
Not really.
really.
Okay, I think
But
you
do
need
they
to read
usually
that.
do that? Like a hyper? No.
But if you're talking about COVID period, they are
Neurodiversity.
kind of, they are placed in little groups and they're not allowed to mix with other groups. So that's during COVID period. But I think now they are permitted to mix with whoever that they want to mix with.
Right.
But even if we are permitted to mix with whoever we want to, cliques will form. Little groups or subgroupings will form. Yeah, so that's the natural sort of situation where we are placed in a community of
Will it
people.
ever come, the day where they'll put like one normal kid with a kid that's not so normal to like normalize the not so normal kid? You know what I mean? Like partnering,
balance out that
like
diversity, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the schools are
Buddy
looking
system.
at inclusive
Buddy system.
learning. Yes. So they do have a neurodiverse child paired up with a neurotypical child. Yeah.
Okay.
So
There's
they
no
do
way I can remember those terms.
You know,
I think for a lot of people as well. Neurodiverse
It's an
and
NT and an ND.
neurotypical.
Yeah.
You say neurodiverse, neurotypical, nobody knows which one is good, which one is bad as well.
Matthew has actually jumped on our Facebook and said, Glenn, those that grow up without the quiet corner in class do this in their adulthood as well. They learn to find their own quiet corners at work.
Yes. So pantries are a very popular space for people to kind of go when they need a cup. So they always say, I need a cup of coffee. Why do they say that? Because when they go into that space,
Nobody
it is
else is
quiet.
there.
Yeah, no one else is there. So they make their drink, and then there's the sensory, the olfactory part of it, which is smelling the coffee, making the coffee, which is tactile, and then the physical space that
Some
they
might
have.
even run off to the toilets, right? I mean, because
Yep.
that's quiet as well.
Yes, and some of them go for breaks. So these are breaks that we encourage children to take also. So these are the toilet breaks that you're talking about, or just a little like step out of the classroom and then step back into the classroom. Adults do it as well. They take their breaks, not only the toilet breaks, but smoke breaks. So a lot of them, you see them going down for their smoke break. That's
That's
why
lovely.
they
I
have.
remember those smoke.
Let's not encourage that.
Used
on
to
the
get the
radio.
best ideas ever.
Yeah, but for schools now, I'm very, very pleased that they teach the children a lot of re-anchoring, recentering techniques like
Of the what?
breathing, um, to do that breathing and mindfulness practices even in the classroom, which is very discreet, and they can then do it on seat in that space, and nobody else needs to know about it. Yeah, so there are many, many methods, and I'm very glad that the teachers are doing that. Parents also start having a lot of awareness, so they do get the sensory tools for the children. They do teach them to do their breathing, yeah, which is very nice.
Can I ask you something, Jerry? People with
Yeah,
mental health issues, do they know they have mental health issues?
I would encourage the parents who have children with needs to tell the children. Yeah.
People with needs. I don't think they call them mental health issues anymore.
What? I just saw.
They do, they still do.
They do. Okay.
There you go. Don't make me look
No, I
so ignorant.
really next week you need to cure our ignorance, because I know I am not well versed with all the terms either.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I just want to use words that our the majority of our Kiss 92 listeners understand as
But we
well.
also need to start changing those words, because they're going to start changing as well, right?
Okay, going back on it.
Yeah.
Traffic update next.
Kiss 92 traffic.
If you're traveling down the PIE towards Tuas, look out for an accident before Jalan Yunos and avoid lanes 1 and 2. Another situation on the PIE as well towards Tuas after the Thompson Road exit, avoid lane 4. Yet another accident has been spotted. Looks like the PIE heading west is not the place to be. If you spot anything at all, it's 885550
Welcome back to the brand new Big Show and the Big Show TV. Hope you like the layout if you're watching us on TV right now, your big screen TV. I love how it looks right now. I love this pink, my Hermes pink.
There have been quite a few comments on our Facebook and YouTube as to how this looks like a marriage counseling session with Dr. Jerry and ourselves, because there's pink and there's lots of hearts in the intro coming out.
No, I don't think it looks like
Neither
a
do I.
marriage counseling
This is
session.
what
Who says?
okay, we've had a couple of people.
Yeah, let's acknowledge who's watching us right
let's
now.
acknowledge. Let's see who's watching us. So Rachel is here. Good morning, Rachel. Matthew is also here. Winston, good morning. Honchu is here as well. Adam, good morning, Adam. And Celine, Yu Ching, quite a few people. But the people that did say were the ones that came in very early. Matthew said, "Is this marriage counseling?" Then we have another one that also mentioned it, but I can't quite find it now. But thank you so much for watching us on YouTube and Facebook. Remember, we're going live on Instagram at Kiss92FM at 9 o'clock to speak about what's in your wallet.
That's right. Hey, speaking of marriage counseling and all that, I'm just thinking like we should be addressing the parents.
Yes, for sure.
All right, because some parents may be making it even worse. Jerry, do you agree with that? They don't
If
know
the
what to do,
parents-
and so
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
might be making things worse. They should definitely send their kid to a professional.
And different parenting styles as well, you
Yeah.
know, especially
Yeah.
when it comes
And
to
every
school.
parent thinks their style is
correct one.
the correct way,
Yeah.
right?
True, true. But what would exacerbate the problem is when the parent is anxious themselves or they feel helpless
And
themselves.
you can't blame them,
So,
right?
no, so that's why schools do have a WhatsApp group for parents or Parents Gateway or Class Dojo so that parents have access to the school or can contact the teachers on a formal platform.
Class dojo.
Yeah, I know,
Are
I
they
heard
practicing
that.
Aikido.
I like how that sounds. But doesn't that also create extra anxiety to be in yet another WhatsApp group, where everybody is, chatting about their children, what they should bring and stuff like that. And everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses, with who got this and who got that.
Single parents trying to go out on dates with each other.
Oh my gosh.
Glenn! I don't think that's the platform to do that. But I guess it is a choice that you can be on, and whether you want notification or you don't want, or you can opt out of the WhatsApp if you want to, right? You don't have to. It is not a must. I mean, Parents Gateway and Class Dojo, maybe you still want to be on it so you get notification from the teachers, but you definitely do not need to interact with anyone. So there's a choice that you can take.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we've run out of time. Anything that you would like to say, apart from your quote, of course, that's coming up, to wrap today's topic up?
No, I mean, I want to wish all the parents, happy back to school, and also all the children, that the school is really a fun place to be. It is an adventure. Learning is always an adventure. So I want them to go and have fun and explore. So there's a lot of things to explore in the school environment, and I really, really want them to enjoy their school year. Whether you are neurotypical or neurodiverse, there's a lot to enjoy.
I think we all loved our school days, right?
Yeah,
I remember
looking back,
primary school, St. Stephen's School. What I really loved about it is we had like a mini zoo there. So every day I could look at these ducks.
Oh.
There were turtles and huge tortoises as well.
Cute. Okay.
I think there was also what was it? I think it was was it a monkey?
I doubt
A
it.
monkey?
But you see, in the 70s, anything was
that
possible.
is true as well.
right?
Yeah, that's
You go
true.
to school and you get all these fun things
Wild animals.
to see, and you get to feed them as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was before petting zoo, even the Singapore Zoo. Okay, anyway, your quote, Jerry.
Yes, and since I just came back from Shanghai, a Chinese proverb says, to learn a language is to have one more window from which to look at the world. So keep learning all the different languages of math, of science. It's not just the English or Mandarin or Malay or Tamil, but to learn different sort of languages.
I love that.
Thank you so
Learn
much.
the language of music and art.
Yeah. Thanks, Jerry,
Yes.
for joining us today. We look forward to
Happy
seeing you
to
next
be
week.
back. Yes, I will be back.
And I mentioned monkey just now. There's a monkey song coming up in a while. Okay, Jerry, thank you so very much for joining us.
Bye.
All right, here's Tones and I, Dance Monkey on Kiss 92.